Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for NCAA Women's Volleyball here on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. I'm Peter Ferreri from beautiful Tarble Arena in Kenosha, Wisconsin at the campus of Carthage, as they will be taking on the Edgewood Eagles, who just fell moments ago to North Park University. Carthage won earlier today to move up to 5-5 overall. Again, I'm Peter Ferreri. Thank you for joining us this Saturday evening. If you joined us earlier today, thank you and welcome back. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to Kenosha. Edgewood lost in 3 to North Park, but I promise you, because I was here, they kept up very well against the North Park squad, who is preseason ranked number 1 in the CCIW, the conference of which Carthage is, of course, in. The Firebirds are going to be wearing the home whites. The visiting Eagles are going to be wearing their short sleeve black jerseys. They just wore long sleeve red, so getting a quick change of uniform to be ready for this evening's matchup. Again, the Carthage NCAA Women's Volleyball Invitational started yesterday, back in action today. Edgewood, two games today. Carthage earlier today in convincing fashion beat the visiting Tigers of DePauw University 25-14 in set number 1, 25-17 in set number 2, and then complete domination 25-15 in set number 3. Now you may say to yourself, okay, well, they had another point scored against them in the third set. Why would you say complete domination? It was out of hand. It was 23-8 at one point, then a little bit of a run near the end, but substitutions came in. Did have a conversation with Coach Ulmer about that lineup and about the changes that happened. They also brought in Ashlyn Paul. I said Ashlyn Mania is upon us. The fans were chanting her name. She got some playing time. Coach was so happy because anytime we get an opportunity to bring in one of our fan favorites, we'll do it for the fans and, give her some opportunities. So we'll see if there's any other surprises or tricks or fan favorites that are called for this game. Another conversation point was based on the right arm, the swinging, the power, the hammer of Liv Carroll, the St. Michael, Minnesota product. She had come off an injury, was playing a bit slower, and even yesterday didn't have the best contest. Came out swinging a double, 18 kills, 11 digs. Not much more you can ask from one of your leaders, especially only at a junior level. Outstanding serves by Buhager, as well as Backus. It's just a across-the-board team win. Digs from the back row from Jenna Damon all over the place, the sophomore libero from small-town Durand, Illinois. On the flip side, I always like to give shout-outs where I can. And shout out to Sierra Fletcher out of Huntley, Illinois. And we'll see if she gets any playing time. She was a spark plug for the team when she would come in, the defensive specialist, the rotational player. Libero today is going to be number 13, Genesee Willie. She is an outstanding freshman in her own right. So you have 2 freshman libero/defensive specialists that have really made a presence. But one thing to shout out about Fletcher is she was, for lack of a better term, the cheerleader, the backbone, like I said, the heartbeat of this team. In the game or on the bench, she was all over the place. She did it right there in the background if you saw number 3. But literally just is cheering on her team and her teammates each and every point, if they're up, if they're down. That's the type of player that, when I talk later with Coach Schlomer, I'm going to bring it up to him about that camaraderie that his team has. I did speak with him pregame, so we'll be able to go through over some of those news and notes when that comes into fruition. When we hit our timeouts, I really try to have a conversation with the coach to see, okay, what do you want to get out of this weekend? What do you want to get out of playing teams such as Carthage and North Park? Stevens Point played yesterday. They got some games in against North Park and against his Carthage squad. So it used to be, from talking to one of the team historians, John Voinovich, that it used to be an 8-team tournament. They'd play some of the major matchups here at Tarble. There's an upstairs auxiliary gym. That's where some of the other teams would play. It was a big multiple-team, multiple-layer tournament. they kind of moved it down a bit so that way everybody could get a fair opportunity, wouldn't have to have hours upon breaks. So you look at the tale of two teams right now. You have both teams at 500 squad, Eagles at 4-4, Firebirds at 5-5. But the reason I say that is you have this Firebird squad coming off a win, but also coming out off a 5-hour break. Some players went and took a nap. Some players had lunch. Hopefully everybody had lunch. Some players did homework. Some players were sitting 20 feet away from me in the stands watching the games that took place in between. Then you had the Eagles team. They showed up at the conclusion of the first game to then play back-to-back games in order to prepare for that. So it's really an interesting dynamic between where these two teams come in. With the layoff, would it hinder the Carthage team, or does it let them rest and heal? Where Edgewood, all right, they've already been swinging the hammer for the past 2 hours. Are they just going to keep swinging and see where it needs to go? So with that being said, we're going to take a step back, do the starting lineups by our illustrious PA announcing team, and we'll come back for first serve right here on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
A 5'10 senior from Argyle, Wisconsin, number 4, Ashley Ruhlman. A 5'6 freshman from Denver, Colorado, number 8, Abby Evans. A 6-foot senior from Waukesha, Wisconsin, number 9, Corinne Harrington. A 5'11 junior from Hartford, Wisconsin, number 11, Abigail Hoffman. A 5'8 sophomore from Edgerton, Wisconsin, number 14, Kate Gunderson. A 6-foot senior from Milton, Wisconsin, number 16, Abby Falk. And at libero, a 5'9 freshman from Grafton, Wisconsin, number 13, Genesee Willie. The head coach for the Eagles is Paul Schlomer. He's assisted by Tom Shea and Kate Mikatowski. All right, fans, get out those flashlights. It's time to meet your Carthage Firebirds! Minnesota, number 2, Liz Carroll. And right side hitter, a 5'11 junior from Shepherd High School in Palos Heights, Illinois, number 4, Katie Rowe. At middle blocker, a 5'10 senior from Lockport Township High School in Lockport, Illinois, number 8, Lena Abdubola. At middle blocker, a 6'1 sophomore from Carthage Hall High School in St. Louis, Missouri, number 9, Katie Foster. And outside hitter, a 5'8 freshman from Plainfield Central High School in Plainfield, Illinois, number 13, Kinsey Backus. At center, a 5'9 sophomore from Brookfield Central High School, number 18, Tatum Kabasek. And at libero, a 5'3 sophomore from Durand High School in Durand, Illinois, number 10, Jenna Damon. The Carthage Firebirds are coached by Leanne Homer. She's assisted by Kylie Neve, Mark Buck, Meme Oberhofer, and Morgan Lemner.
We're excited to be here. Tarble Arena, home of the Firebirds. They are all fired up. Liv Carroll, Katie Rowe, Lena Ajabola had an outstanding start to last game. Katie more than a feeling Boston. Jenna Damon back at libero, getting the start as well. Manojlovic at the outside hitting right side. And Kebasek will be setting. Also earlier today, Devin Bell getting a lot of time setting as well out of Lindenhurst. So a healthy, a good rotation of players. Two-headed monster setting, two-headed monster in the middle block. Back row, I mean, it's really a complete team that Coach Ulmer has built and created here in Kenosha for this Carthage 2023 season. So let's see its success and where it can go. We're excited to be here with them. The conclusion of the Carthage Invitational. As you see, both teams sporting the same team colors, so left to right is going to be the Firebirds. Carroll right now having a conversation with the R1. So I wasn't quite sure if it was a bag in the way or something, but nonetheless, we're about to be underway. We thank you for joining us. We know you have a lot of options to watch on your Saturday evening, so we're glad you're with us. When then there's the whistle. I think they're switching volleyballs. Okay, now we'll start. Underway, Bacchus. Ajabola. A roof to start things off. 5 seconds in. 3 touches, serve, return, roof. Hop serve. And that'll be a service error. Back to serve now is going to be Abby Elvins out of Denver, Colorado. Evans. Our side high return. Toward the near pin. Nice job finding the line. Number 4, Ashley Bruelman out of Argyle High School in Argyle, Wisconsin. Back set. Carroll just kind of has to underhand it to get it to where it needs to go. And I'm not sure if that's a double hit. It is indeed a double hit to be called. Quick 3-1 for Edgewood. So again, if this continues on, it's kind of what we were discussing pregame is Edgewood is, not as fresh, but since they've already been playing, they're warmed up. They know what they need to do and couldn't get there in the back row. Genesee Willie. Serving now, Jenna Damon. Not able to get the return. Just rolled off the top of the fingertips of Bruelman. Set near pin. Following right in front of Bacchus. Edgewood doing quite well. Again, North Park, one of the cream of the crop teams in the CCIW, and the Eagles gave them all they can hope for as the bench lines up as in the archer position. Back set for Carroll. Near the rafters, we continue on. Carroll wants it again, that one stays in. Liv Carroll just so smooth in her delivery, smooth operator. Nothing jerky, not accelerated, just at her pace. But then when that contact happens, when the palm hits the ball, it just launches right off. A service error. Setting out is Genesee Willie into serve. Is Harrington. Set to the far pin. Dump attempt, underhand Free ball joust. No lift called, just sloppy rally for both teams. Who can come away with it? Nice job with the one hand. Carroll, 10-foot line. Kill. Once again for Carroll. I dance, dance, dance with my hands. 5-5, we're tied up in the first. Anytime it's a messy rally where neither team can get set up, you really want that point just to say, okay, even if things don't go our way, we can still come away with that point. Good job once again by Damon. Carroll couldn't get there in the back row. Abby Hoffman to serve out of Hartford Union High School. Left hand dump and it flushes down. Great placement for the Firebirds. Backus again getting the early rotation as the setter. Serving now is Madeline Danielson. Danielson, the Geneva Community High School grad. Far pin. No tip called, out of play. Coach Ulmer saying, hey, there looked like there was a tip again at the Division III level. No reviews. Or I should say at the conference level it's decided, so no reviews here for these non-conference games. Serving is Gunderson. Back set slide, Ajabola. Nice high back set. Oh my goodness, give credit where it's due. Kate Gunderson out of Edgerton, Wisconsin. Going toward the far back corner, set near pin on a dime, and now serves. Tool kill by who else? Manilovic. Outstanding positioning again. Far pin, blocked back down, a roof. Abby Folk, the middle hitter out of Milton, Wisconsin. Also Zoe Pond in the lineup. So a very tall lineup for the for the Eagles. That's some adjustments. Edgewood a 10-7 lead. And not to say that Carthage has necessarily done anything wrong. It's just a circumstance where things are falling Edgewood's way. They're playing a cleaner game. Playing more valiantly at the net. Carroll. I mean, that's levitation, Holmes. Just the slightest hop off the ground, but she has such good form. Reaches the ball at full extension of her arm, snaps the wrist. That one stays in play. Zoe Pond. Outstanding kill of her own. Set over the middle, Ajabola. Nothing there. Carroll. Oh boy, Carroll is rejected. Corinne Harrington, the pride of Waukesha. 4-point lead for Edgewood. Another point, Coach Ulmer may have to take that timeout. Setting up the Firebird attack now. Bam! Liv Carroll. Damon serves. Far side, another banger. Katie Rowe back to within 2, so timeout not needed. But now you may say if you're the Firebirds, or excuse me, if you're the Eagles, if the Firebirds get another point, well, not going to necessarily happen there. And as you might have heard, an OUT chant led by, mentioned pregame, Sierra Fletcher out of Huntley. Hotbed for high school volleyball. Cary Grove, the Huntley Raiders, Marion Central Catholic Hurricanes, just 3 of the top schools in the state, all very close. So the Eagles quickly get 2 back. They lead 14-10. We're going to take a look at the stats right now. Ultimately, 14-10, we talked about it. The Eagles hitting .429 so far in this first set. Carthage at .238. And right there, as you see, we talked about not that the Firebirds are making any mistakes. It's just the Eagles' placement is so direct, but it hasn't been as, an extreme one lopsided affair. That's why that's the first out taken at a 14-10 mark. 4 kills by Liv Carroll, 2 by Rowe, 1 by Asia Bola. Milanovic with 1 of her own. And as well as Kebasek. But again, not getting a lot of swings so far is Manojlovic, but she delivers when she's in that rotation. So again, still trying to get her footing. The 5'10" freshman out of Niles West when she's in there. Again, still growing into this system, growing into the play. Eagles lead by 4, 14-10. When talking about this contest with Coach Schlomer, he's like, look, I love to get out to Carthage for non-conference play. We're going to replay because I think the music was still playing and the officials weren't in the ready position, but he said, I've known Coach Ulmer for a long time. Good program, quality team. They've already looked very strong in non-conference play. He goes, and we're just looking forward to managing through this weekend. Far side out of play. Again, and those are the type of hits in the first game today against DePauw. Carthage was just finding the line at will. It's not happening 100% of the time right now. So we talked about the percentages. In the first game, Carthage ended the game a full 3-set match, 400 as their hitting percentage. So it's not a long-term sustainable number. Over the middle. Back set. Trying to set things up. Just off the tip of the fingers. That one goes too far. A 4-1 run by the Eagles. Serving yet again is Harrington. Set far pin. And not able to swipe at it is the aforementioned Harrington, so Firebirds get a point. Subbing in now is going to be Buhager, as well as the aforementioned Manojlovic. We talked about Manojlovic and her prowess when she's in. Not yet to the point of being a 6th rotational player, but let's see if they go at her. That falls back, outstanding roof. More than a feeling when I hear that old song they used to play, Katie Boston. High set to the near side. Carroll sends that one far. Again, you know, usually those fall in right at the back line, and if they don't, there's a tip on it. So the fact that, again, team is seeing Carroll approach, and if she's not right at the net, they kind of let that one go, and it sailed far. So smart non-play by the Eagles. That stays in. Boston delivers yet again. Ajabola checks into play, and as will serve is Maddie Danielson, the Geneva, Illinois hometown player. Firebirds back to within 3. 8 aces in the earlier contest in only 3 sets. Set far pin. They're saying that one stays in. Carthage gets the point within 2. Once again, we ask ourselves the question we did earlier. If Carthage gets another point, do the Eagles then stop the rally with a timeout? Slide attempt, self-preservation, punch under. To their left. Left hand Manojlovic. And Ajabola double team for a nice block. Firebirds within 1. Once again, Danielson on the serve. Palm over, back row Danielson. Can she set up the attack? That one, they're going to say, stays in. It was the right call by the line judge. Lead creeps to 2, but in comes Gunderson, one of the serve specialists for the visiting Eagles. Set, far pin. Nice dig. Playing it off the ceiling, Damon. High set on the same spot, Carroll. Ajabola. Double block, and Damon sends that one 10 rows into the stands. Edgewood lead back to 3. Coach Ulmer is going to take that second timeout. Again, within 1, it was 17-16, and Carthage had the serve. But 2 quick points by the Eagles. It's the exact same thing that happened almost 10 points ago. But again, going back to what Coach Slomer had to say, he said, look, I want to be prepared when discussing not only this tournament, but the teams in the tournament. He said, I want to be prepared against the top teams in the Midwest. He said, we have to take our non-conference opponents very seriously. He said, because, Pete, let me tell you this way. We never want to put our hopes in making the NCAA tournament in our conference only. He said, I want to play other teams that will be receiving votes, other teams that could be in consideration and contention for those at-large bids. I want to play them, I want to beat them, or at least I want to be able to compete against them, so it's not like, oh, well, if you don't win the conference tournament, sorry, you had a good run, but you didn't do well against non-con. That's why they're here. He said, I want to compete at a high level all season. He said, sure, I'm still working through some lineups. I got some young players on the team, and I want to see who's going to come out of this weekend, this tournament, being the best, so that way I know what my lineup's going to look like in a more, solidified way once we hit conference play. Not able to dive back. Eagles, another power kill. The NACC's own Eagles delivering. They did not win a set against North Park, 5 away from taking set 1 in Tarble. Not if Ajabola has anything to say about it. Again, last season, Ajabola, rotational player, what I like to say was one of the closers of the team. If in the 4th set or 5th set, they'd bring her in sound play, especially sound net presence and defense. This year adding quite an offensive element. And that's going to hit the tape and go 12-6. Not planned at all. Firebirds back to within 2. Back set. Breaking through. Zoe Pond pounds it down. Eagles need 4. Willie serves. That stays in. Genesee Willie. The freshman libero. Another ace, 2 aces in a row. That one went to Carroll. Eags need 2. Willie goes right for Carroll again. She's able to pick up the pieces. Pass back to Carroll. Asia Bola. Off the free ball, Willie. Back set. Blocked. 4 Firebirds on the same spot. Carroll goes back row for Willie. Can Damon get a good pass to Carroll? Down. Kill. Live. Laugh. Love. Carroll keeps the hopes alive for the Firebirds, down 23-19. Left hand. Oh my goodness. The zinger from Zoe Pond, set 1 point. The Eagles need 1 to take set 1. After falling in 3 to North Park, Carroll not only gets the tip, but it also falls before the back line. That's 1. Can the Firebirds find 4 more to send it to extras? And that goes out of play. So set 1 goes the way of the visiting Eagles, 25-20. Can the Firebirds come back, or will the Eagles take it in 2 straight? We'll find out when we come back on the Firebird Broadcasting Network.
The official physical therapy provider of Carthage Athletics. Alden Auto Stores. Satori Energy. Comprehensive Orthopedics. BSN Sports. Nike. Stella Hotel and Ballroom. Hampton Inn and Suites. The Mechanical. Riley Construction. Pepsi. Public Brewing. Badger Bus. Harryball. Ogres. Jersey Mike's. Chick-fil-A. And Giordano's.
Welcome back to Tarble Arena. I'm Peter Ferreri, bringing you the action on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Teams have switched sides. Eagles took set one 25-20. Also, regardless of the outcome, we stick around after the conclusion of the game for the Coach Ulmer postgame show. Brought to you, as always, by the Firebird Broadcasting Network. And just like that, nice easy point to get point one for the Firebirds. So that's some gimmies are what they would like to see in this second set. Set across the middle, triple block. Oh boy. Katie Boston. Huge delivery. Using the full length of the net and tooling all the way back. Firebirds 3-0 to start things off. Oh my goodness, isolation block. Abby Bruelman. Set far pin. Near side. Nice systematic movement for the Eagles. If you looked, Abby Hoffman was absolutely set up for success. Back and forth when they made their steps forward and steps back. That was an absolute thing of beauty. Textbook. They're going to the well again. That time hits the pin. Liv Carroll. Far pin. Blocked right back. All smiles. Boston and Kebisek. Serving Carroll. 5-2, 3-point lead for the Firebirds. Oh, that one just going out of play. Smart play. Pass wasn't necessarily where you wanted it. Take the chance and try to get the dump. Hits off the side of the forearm of Bruelman. Lead extended back to 3. Liv Carroll, 6 kills already, leads the squad. 6 out of the 18 are hers. 10 total for Edgewood. So when you look at just the numbers, it's a very evenly matched contest. 10-foot line. Running it down. That one falls down. Damon, just a directional bump. Not able to get there is Hoffman. A 4-point lead for the Firebirds. with one more, don't be surprised if Coach Schlommer takes his first time out. Oh, massive one over the middle. Kate Boston out of St. Louis. You can find May in St. Louis. 8-3, Carthage leads. You know, going back to that conversation with Coach Schlommer, he said, look, when we had our COVID years, we didn't know a whole lot about the team. He said over the years, it was a sheer volume of film that would be coming in. He's in his 18th season, so he has seen a lot. He said, but I'll tell you this, I wouldn't be doing my job as a coach if I didn't know the game plan. He said, we may not spend the hours and hours anymore. He said, but we talk about who we're going to key in on. You know, things change as you get more video. He said, but again, when you were prepping during lockdown, it really transitioned the style of coaching that he did after that long of time. You know, he's loved the growth of the game. You know, we talked about how, kind of how he recruits. He said we're getting a higher and higher level of athletes coming to the Division III. He said what's funny is when they have their alumni meet and greets, a lot of them say, I don't know if I'd be able to make this team anymore. And he said, yeah, probably not. Isolation block over the middle. Hits the bottom rung. Hop serve from the back row. Not able to get it out of play. An ace for the Eags. Just like that. Edgewood back to within 2. Quick set, block back, Carroll on the spot. Side dump attempt, miscommunication for Boston. Timeout going to be taken. You saw Coach Ulmer immediately, didn't even take her hands out of her pockets. Immediately needing and taking a timeout. 8-7 your score. When you look at the last few points, it was 8-3. And then an attack error by Rowe. Service ace by Hoffman. Two aces in a row, the 5th and 6th point. And then Kebasek with an attack error of her own. 8-7 now, just like that. The Firebirds, who had a very secure run here in set number 2. Things can turn very quickly in the sport of volleyball. Carthage 8, Edgewood 7. Thank you for being with us on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. Carthage defeated DePaul 3-0. And just like that, coach's point for Coach Ulmer, service error. You know, when talking with Coach Ulmer, we talked about Liv Carroll, or when I spoke with Coach about Liv Carroll, She said, look, she was hurting last weekend. She was our leading kill getter. She needs to pick up where she left off today. She did that earlier today. We spoke of the double-double that she had earlier today against the Tigers. Hop serve. Back bump. Left pin through the double block. Good play. Brew Allman. Stellar job. Set near pin. Edgewood takes the lead 10-9. Again, it is a 7-1 run. Asia Bola couldn't find the line. High return Damon. Set back for Carroll. Retreating because she thought it was going to go far. Not the wrong play, but after the tip just drops down, and there's that second timeout. So second timeout of set number 2 called by Coach Ulmer. Just to try to coordinate and stop this heck of a run. And again, to recap, it is an 8-1 run for the Eagles. As we look at some of those numbers, looking just at the second set, 5 kills for Carthage, 3 for the Eagles. You would say to yourself, well, clearly the Eagles must be trailing. Nope. 5 attack errors for Carthage is really what has made the difference there. Also, 2 aces and 3 blocks for the Eagles have found them swarming back in this second set. Brualman up to 5 kills of her own. Pond with 3. Pond really helped clean up and finish off set number 1. In the game now. Hop serve. So we're back underway. Asia Bola just has to kind of uppercut it to keep the rally alive. Pond double blocked, including that of the outstretched hands of Asia Bola as she says, no thank you, come again. Eagles lead at 1. Set over the middle. Beautiful one set to Abby Falk. She checks out, did her job. Set toward the net. Asia Bola, self-preservation. Back row. Slide. Hits the pin. Oh, point's gonna go. So blocked back toward the pin. So good play there defensively. That one goes too far. Looking back row, Damon. The sophomore libero, Ajabola. Back to Willie. Ajabola tips it back. And that's what they need to see, stringing more of these along. Set across the middle, blocked, right, back. Boston goes boom. 14-13. That one good retrieving by Edgewood just to allow that to matriculate out of play. High set, out of play. Another point by the Firebirds, back to within one. This is a lot of resolve by the Firebirds team. Had the lead, watched it go away, watched that lead get extended, having to use both the timeouts. High back set. Good job on the spot. Lane's being taken away in the middle part of the second set. Carroll directional set. From the 10-foot line, might have a joust opportunity. Still stays on the side of the Eagles and blocked right back. Manojlovic ties things up at 15 apiece. Set near side, just moving a hand out of the way. And the Firebirds get the point right back. Back set. Damon can't get the left hand underneath it. What a back and forth battle in set number two. Again, set number one ended 25-20. One-point deficit for the home Firebirds. Dumped attempt with the left hand. Tatum, Kabasek out of Brookfield, flushes it down, tying it back up at 17. Can that be the catalyst to bring things further along in this second set for Carthage? Eagles have stolen away the momentum for much of set number two. And right there, that might be a timeout opportunity now. After the dump, a mental error not clearing the top of the tape. Carthage with a lead. Diving for it, touched off the right forearm of Genesee Willie. Two-point disadvantage now for the Eagles. Coach Slomer asked the official, do I still have timeouts? He's like, you got one. They used their first one. They were down 8-3. Now into sub, Kate Gunderson, as discussed, one of the serve specialists. Down and kill. Number 4, Katie Rowe, the Shepherd High School product. That one's sent near side. Eagles staying in range. Here comes the firecracker, as we talked about, Sierra Fletcher. And she checks out, so part of the rotation. Jabola. Left side. Out of play. Eagles tie it at 20. Firebirds out of timeouts. Edgewood with 1. Out of play. Liv Carroll goes back row. Willie picks up the pieces. Left side, double block, way out of play. Powerful tool by Brew Allman. Busts out the chainsaw. Eagles have the edge again, 22-20. Carroll substituting out. Checking in, Ashlyn Paul. Paul does not wear the knee pads. Decoy, down and kill. Front row was caught looking at Paul. That's when you have those types of substitutions to really, like, okay, why are they bringing in this player? They were caught looking at her, and she did a half jump for a decoy. Firebirds to within 1. Down and kill. Oh, the Eagles flying high. They need 2 to take set 2. Hop serve. Back set. Asia Bola brings the Firebirds within 1. Brew Allman now up to 9 kills. Liv Carroll now subbing in for Ashlyn Paul. Mishandle on the pass. Firebirds have tied it up. Why not? It's that type of set. Coach Schlommer taking a timeout. As we look back on the conversation once again, talking about, you know, Edgewood doing such a good job with aces on the year. So far today, 4 aces so far for the Eagles. And he's like, you know, Pete, I see serving as offense. He said the game has gotten to the point, if we just give it to the opponent to set up their offense, why don't you just give them the point? He said, I want everything we do, every ball, to put pressure on the opponent. We want to force them into situations that they aren't comfortable with. And if they get an easier ball to defend, well, then it's easier to attack. I want to force them into one-option offenses so it's easier for us to defend. He said, because then you just have a better probability to turn it around into a good opportunity for us. He says it's a possession game. If you put something aggressive across the net, I want somebody to serve aggressive and keep it in. Tied at 23. Roof! Boston. For all your roofing needs, call Boston and Associates. Firebirds a point away from taking set 2 after leading in the beginning, gave it away for the middle and trying to take it at the end. However, the Eagles, can they find the equalizer to send it in extras? Lift gonna be called. Set 2 going the way of the Firebirds. 25-23. When we come back, set number 3. Firebird Broadcasting Network. Welcome back. On the Firebird Broadcasting Network, as you heard some Fireball being played from Mr. Worldwide Pitbull. But the visiting Eagles bench was really getting into it. But the slide blocked Ajabola. And of course, Manojlovic really making some outstanding things happen. Dump attempt, flush it down. Great play. And that one goes out of play. Another one for the Eagles. So some fans helping clean up the spilled water. Took a moment to high five. Back set Carroll. Almost out of play, punching back in, free ball. Oh, that was close. Wow. Nonetheless, tied up. Damon Libero, 2 aces on the day already. Can't dive quickly enough. Edgewood takes the 1-point lead. Set left side. Nice up. Back set. Carroll's looking for it. She does a directional set to Willie. And that falls in. Outstanding play by Borhart. Borhart in the game now. The 6-foot outside. But a service error by Bruallman. You know, when talking with Coach Schlomer about Bruallman, he's like, look, she's my all-tournament team type player. It's great to have her because she's one of the most talented athletes. She said she's there late. She gets extra reps. I can count on her. She wants to be good. She wants to be coached. He said that, you know, you can't say that about every player you have. That stays in. Kind of shuffling was Backus. Also another player he puts in that category with Ashley Bruallman is Abby Falk, the middle hitting senior. He said they're not scared of carrying the extra weight. He said they can be relied on. They encourage others. They promote the team culture. He says when you win a conference championship, he said you don't just list the 6 starters. They are all part of it. That one stays in. Line judge on the spot to tie things up again, this time at 5. Missed time set over the middle. The aforementioned Falk was calling for it, but Evans just a bit too high. It looks like Falk was looking for a 1, and Evans gave about a 2.5. Line judge saying that one is in. A service ace. Firebirds up by 2. Your pin just punching over. Out of rotation opportunity. Can the Eagles take advantage? Left hand dump lifted. And Genesee Willie not able to get the final touch. 3-point lead, Firebirds into third. Good play over the middle by Rowe. That is a 4-point lead for the Firebirds. Timeout taken. But going back to this Eagles squad, I talked when I spoke with Coach, I'm like, your team's known whether they want to be or not. They've gone on a lot of runs, whether it's a 5-1 run, a 7-1 run. We saw them in set number 2 down 8-3 and went on a run of their own. He's like, even when a score is like, if it's at 20-18, he says, my team realizes why it happened. He said, and they're confident in their skills in the game of volleyball that they can come back and they can do it in every rally. He said, sometimes, the wheels come off in some fashion. He said, but our team battles even when in a loss. He said, when the chips are down, we kept battling. He says, we know who we are as a program. We know who we are as a team. We do not stop competing just because we may be down by 4 or 5. He said, if anything, we go harder. You saw that in the last set. Down 8-3, came back, almost won set 2, had the lead before Carthage took it at the very end, 25-23. So being down by 4 right here, this is not uncharted territory, not uncharted waters for this squad. Back set. Oh, massive kill. Abby Hoffman swinging the hammer. And as we talked about, there's that next step to clawing back. Left hand dump. Flush it down, Kebasek. 4-point lead, Firebirds once again. What's interesting too, Coach Slomer, in our conversation, he said this next phrase in a way that, in all my years of broadcasting volleyball, you never really think about it until it's said in a conversational way. And he said, what I love about the sport of volleyball, he said, and it's kind of funny. He said, after you win a set, you start over. He said, you think about other sports, you got a halftime lead, you keep that lead. You don't just start over and say you won the first half. He said, if it's, innings, oh, you won that inning, okay, you don't start over at 0-0 again. He go, volleyball, you start over. He said, so even when my team loses a set, we know we can come back because we still have all these other sets to go out and win. Out of play. 4-point lead maintained for the Firebirds. Service error. Buhager. Just like that, Eagles back to within 2. Firebirds get it right back. Again, it's back and forth right now. Set 1, 25-20. Set 2, 25-23. So each team sitting at 1 set apiece. Firebirds slowly extending that lead back to 5. It was back and forth, then a little 2 in a row, but giving 1 back. I spoke too soon. Back set. Oh, stellar play. Two-point lead. There's a timeout called. So just like that, and I wanted to let that play out a bit. Edgewood was down by as many as 5, okay? They now are within 2. As we look at some of these replays, and you look at how we got to these past few points. So you had a kill by Manojlovic. Here's the replay. Tool out of play. That one stayed in. But here's that back set. Boom. Another point. Play over the middle. There's that dump, one of the last points. But again, breaking through, and you saw there 3 Firebirds not going for it. I've talked to a plethora of coaches in NCAA volleyball, and what do they all say? I'd rather all 3 go than none. So if you look at it, you had a service ace to make it 11-9. And then all of a sudden, service error, attack error, ace, and Edgewood's back to within 2. Carthage gets that coach's point. 7 kills for Rowie, 6 for Carroll. Tip to the back row. Left side. Again, misplay by Manojlovic. And the reason I say that is against this Eagle squad, you cannot have any gimme points, or I should say you need to limit your gimme points as much as possible. There's another one, an ace for the Eagles. They're within 1. Another timeout. So the second timeout is going to be used. So the Eagles within 1. Let's crunch some of the numbers. Brualman up to 10 kills. She leads the way for both squads. Now, mind you, Edgewood only has 28 kills total to the 32 of Carthage. However, when you look at some of the other numbers, Carthage, more errors. Carthage is hitting at a better hit percentage, but 8 aces for Edgewood. That really does a huge difference when you're looking at, where things are gone. Where's the difference? Carthage 1 extra total block, so fairly even there, but the 3 aces and then the right arm of Bruelman just doing a fantastic job. Serve back. That one stays in, or excuse me, that one goes out. Point goes to the Firebirds. So Danielson back in. High 3 set. Danielson sets to the left side. Milanovic. Tip back row. Manojlovic couldn't get there. 1 point lead for the Firebirds only. Back to serve. Genesee Willie. Nice dig. Pass left side. Damon back bump to keep the rally going. Can the Eagles tie it up? Slide. Damon up. Manojlovic has it blocked. Can't get there. Is Danielson. Eagles have tied it at 16 apiece. Back set, slide. Oh, nice up by Willie. Punch over. Danielson tries to set up the Firebird attack. Back set. And again, missed timing there. Backus just didn't go for it. She kind of looked out to the left for Damon. Damon was not moving. Backus drops to her right knee to try to pancake and couldn't do it. Eagles have the lead. Set over the middle, missed time. Boston couldn't get much behind it. Tool it out. Cole Chalmer not happy. And here comes in a substitution. So Manojlovic checks out. Over the middle, blocked back. Checking in Ava McTeague out of Maplewood, Minnesota. McTeague getting her first action, and she subs out now. Edgewood leads by 1. Nice set right in place. Danielson looking left. Blocked back high up by Rowe. Directional set. Carroll not in the game right now. Back row. Over the middle. Is there a touch? No touch. Carthage ties it back up. Up with the left hand. Oh, it keeps the rally alive. Can they capitalize? They cannot. Finding the space, beautiful placement. Tied at 19, checking in now, Zoe Pond. Left side. Out of play, no touch. R1 thought there might have been a touch. Or excuse me, the Eagles looked up to the R1 as if there was a touch. Back and forth we go. Where we stop, nobody will know. Tied at 1 apiece. And quickly, the Eagles tie back up at 20. Pass left side. A little bit of a decoy in the middle. Pond goes far. Oh my goodness. What placement in the back row. Pond just letting that one drop in the back. Just pinpoint placement. Say that 10 times fast. Mishandled by Danielson. Eagles within 3. Carthage. Firebirds with the serve. Kabasik hits the net. Gimme point. It's been the case all evening for Carthage in game number 1 against DePaul, a near error-free match. Not the same versus the Eagles. Double block, can't get there. We are at set 3 point. Brought back in. Can't get there. Is number 18, Kabasek. Eagles take set 3, 25-21. Can the Eagles steal it in Kenosha, or will the Firebirds send it to 5? We'll find out when we come back on the Firebird Broadcasting Network. don't know if you could pick it up in the background. Sierra Fletcher is a dancing machine. And if any of her family members are watching or listening, I think she does have some family in the crowd if my research proves accurate. But they need to be her friend. She's amazing. Every team needs a Sierra Fletcher. If I did one of those dance moves, tendons broken, torn, see, I don't even know. Don't ask me medical things. That one just goes out. Thought it might have been in play. Tied at 1. A pivotal set for, not to say any sets are or are not pivotal. However, if Carthage wants a chance at coming away victorious, they need one here. And we spoke about in set 1, we spoke about in pregame. The Eagles just lost in 3 straight to North Park, but they were all close. And North Park is very, very good. Carthage beat DePauw earlier today, but had a 5-hour break. And the Eagles just kind of kept that momentum going. Won set 1, lost a very close set 2, won again in set 3. But Carthage comes out swinging a bit here, 3-2 in set number 4. Set near side. Left pin. Carroll back in the rotation now over the middle. Boston tried for the kill. Back row for Damon. Carroll delivers the hammer, hits the tape, drops down. Back attempt, tool out of play. Solid point for the Eagles. Again, it sounds cliche, but just a heavyweight battle right now. Back and forth. Both these teams go. That stays in. Eagles edge by 1. Two Eagle players, double-digit kills so far, Hoffman and Bruelman. Back set, falling away. Back set of their own, left hand. The lethal lefty, Zoe Pond. Set near side. Block, but tip back. Beautiful dig by the libero, Willie. Back set of her own. Over the middle and through the woods. Abby Falk knocks it down, the Milton, Wisconsin product. Joust at the neff. Won again by Folk. Eagles forcing a timeout for the Firebirds. You know, when talking with Coach Ulmer about this weekend, she's like, look, I know our first conference game is next week against Wesley. And she said, I need to solidify a rotation, and we need to figure out who we are, where we play the best. We need to try to figure out more offensively. She said we switched to a 6-2. Maybe that's going to give us more offense. She said, look, Liv can play all the way around, but we need to find more offense that's not named Liv. She said, my goal is to run the table this weekend and be competitive. Now they did part one earlier today. Tough one yesterday against ranked number 20 Stevens Point. But right now, trailing 8-4 and trailing 2-1. Carroll. There's the slide. Right off the shoulder blades. Bruallman can't do anything with that missile launch. Carthage starts their comeback effort. Top serve. That'll be a violation. Eagles up again by 4. Carroll credited with the attack error. Out of play. Carroll from the 10-foot line. Out of play, no touch. Starting to unravel a bit here for Carthage in set number 4, 11-5. A 6-point deficit, the largest deficit of the evening for the Firebirds. Out of play, that'll help. Pass left side. Back set, Carroll, double blocked. Ajabola checked in, didn't make a difference on that rally. Carthage trying desperately to come back. Back set, Pond, oh my goodness. I mean, arguably the hardest hitter on the court for either team. Eagles 14-8. It's been a back and forth the past few points, but Carthage can ill afford to have a back and forth punch for punch battle at this point. They need a run, and it's not going to help as that slides off the right elbow. Coach Ulmer using her second and final timeout. You know, one thing Coach Ulmer wanted to do in this weekend, knowing it's non-conference play, she also wanted to get some freshmen into the rotation, and she has a healthy dose of Manojlovic. She said it's definitely an opportunity for her and for other freshmen as well to get some playing time. Backus getting some playing time out of Plainfield Central. So a lot of freshmen seeing the court. McTeague also got some playing time for a minute. The younger of the McTeague sisters. She's like, I really want to find one of my players that's going to be a thing at pin hitter. She said, I just love that Manojlovic is going to be a potential 6th rotation player. She said a lot of the freshmen have to wait their turn, but I'll tell you, it's exciting for us. Dump attempt picked up. Carroll side bump. Directional over the net. Manojlovic must have heard us talking about her. Damon double punch. Back row. Set over the middle. Down and kill. Eagles taking over this set. Brought back in, just a missed time over the middle. Pettinger, the junior. Kind of a tip back in. Look at that. And see, these are the points. Carroll hits the top of the tape, but these are the type of points if the Eagles can get. As we see there, it's just the brakes are falling their way. The ricochet off a hand, the deflection. Ten-point lead for the Eagles. Service here. So, subbing in. Once again, McTeague. Pass to McTeague, she tips over. Far side, off the block of Carroll. Damon trying to set up Carroll. Carroll blocked. Brualman is doing everything for the Eagles, 19-9. Not able to get there cleanly. Genesee Willie, a rare mistake, but the effort was there. So, or I should say a rare miss, not necessarily a mistake. Carroll 6 kills, 5 digs. They have put out the fire here at Tarble, and that attack of Carroll, aiming a bit high, McTeague not able to deliver. Back set on the slide, falls right down at the right shoulder of Borhart. Eagles need 5 to take a 3 sets to 1 victory over the host Firebirds. Willie, your side, nice up. And Carroll can't get low enough. They have defended her as if she is the entire team. And as we stated in my conversation with Coach Ulmer, somebody else needed to step up. Didn't quite happen in sets 3 and 4. Blocked, back over the middle. Abby Falk says thank you, next. Out of play. Firebirds within 10. Now, something to keep in mind. This was stated at the end of the game, or the match this morning versus DePaul. If the Firebirds cannot come away victorious, can they string along a little rally here to at least get a little bit of momentum before they hit Wesleyan next week? Mishandled by Pond. She kind of runs into her libero. Quick set over the middle. Uppercut. That one stays in. This is that run I was talking about. They're not out of the woods yet. Pun intended, Edgewood, but Eagles come away with that. Keeping it in play, side bump by Damon on the short, over. Not able to get there. Katie Rowe. Match point. Set over the middle, blocked back. Can they find it on the left side? Blocked back in, not yet. Ella Pettinger getting some playing time now. Said her name a few times. Out of play. No. Can Carthage rattle off 7? I have seen it happen. Back set. Pond. Elbows it up. There's another for the Firebirds. still match point. Set left pin. Block back. Not able to get there. That's another one for the Firebirds. And there's the timeout. Coach Schlomer has said, that's enough of that fun. And again, as I stated, if you are losing as much as Carthage was, 20-11, you have done an 8-4 run. That's what you want to have. That's what you want to see, momentum to conclude the game. Even, of course, you'd love to come out victorious and have it be a run of the ages. But even if you can't make that up, you've just said to yourself, we took a set from them, and we made a run at the end to make a game of it. So you got to be optimistic about that outlook. Again, upcoming schedule for the Carthage squad, they head out of town against Illinois Wesleyan for their first CCIW game Wednesday at 7. They then head for the Wartburg tournament, taking on Cornell, Coe College, and Wartburg College next weekend before they're back home Wednesday the 27th against Wheaton for their second CCIW game. Back set for Pond. Near pin. Wiley keeps it alive. Back bump on the free ball. Back set. Point goes Carthage. Carroll delivers a crushing blow. 4 away. And a service error is what's going to end the valiant comeback attempt for the Firebirds. My goodness, what a run at the end there. You have to say, what a run. Tip your hat to the Firebirds, but with that being said, congratulations to the Eagles of Edgewood College in Madison, losing in 3 to North Park, and then came out storming against the home Firebirds. That is 7 sets in just about 4 hours. They're going to have a nice, relaxing, short trip back home to Madison. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, the post-game show with Coach Ulmer right here. I'm Peter Ferreri, and it's the Firebird Broadcasting Network. And we're live on the post-game show. Coach Ulmer, Peter Ferreri here. Coach, back and forth battle, but a heck of a push in the end in that fourth. You were so close. If that consistency would have been there, would have been a different outcome.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah, a little late, right? It's a little too late there. So, yeah, I mean, all of a sudden we figured out how to block them and, do that kind of stuff. But, yeah, we really put ourselves in a big hole in that fourth set. Had a really great opportunity in the third set to take that set and let that slip away. So, you got to give them credit for putting some pressure on us. I thought they played really well, and we came up a little bit short there,
Yeah. Looking ahead, also I want to mention Ava McTeague got some playing time today. Is she one of your rotational pieces you were talking to me about this week?
There's 3 freshmen that have been hitting outside kind of on a regular basis, plus Katie Rowe. So, they're great kids, and they'll learn. It's all a learning process, and kind of baptism under fire, right?
Yeah.
Because now we're going to play Wesleyan first conference match on Wednesday. A very good Illinois Wesleyan team. So hopefully we can get healthy, get everybody back, and be ready to go. But even if you can't, nobody cares. Right?
Yeah.
you gotta suit them up and get after it. So trying to teach them how to be gritty, trying to teach them how to grind. I don't want us to get used to losing. That's not how we roll.
Yeah.
So you got to get that fight earlier. You got to figure that out earlier.
You did come away with one set victory in 25-23, and that was a battle in its own right. What are some of the takeaways, the positive takeaways you can take from that set to bring into Wesleyan this week?
Yeah, I think we did some good things, no doubt. We just let some spells get away from us that hurt us. So I think, in practice, we have to work on those things, continue to be aggressive servers. And the kids get tired of you hearing it's all the serve and pass game.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they shot some BBs over when we didn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's about which side puts the most pressure on the other side. I mean, the stats couldn't have been a whole lot. Neither one of us hit a great percentage.
Yeah.
We probably made a few more mistakes, and that's the difference in the game.
Yeah. Well, Coach, best of luck this week in practice, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Always appreciate you being here.
All right, thanks, Coach. All right, quick post-game show there with Coach Ulmer. Again, had to really talk to the team, talk to the troops, get their mind right. Again, they had the spells where, they were being very successful, did take set 2, but at the end of it all, Carthage lost in 4, 25-20, 25-23, 25-21, and then finally 25-20. We want to thank you all for being with us and being patient here on this Saturday evening. For executive producer Mike Love, producer John Voinovich, our camera operators and directors Natasha Mazzara, Allison Kaklanis, Zoe Jerome, and Joe Fudali. This has been a presentation of Carthage College, copyright 2023. Again, I'm Peter Ferreri, and we want to thank you for joining us this weekend for the Carthage College NCAA Division III Women's Invitational here at Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody, and we'll see you soon.